10 new beauty products I've never recommended before. We have some new finds, some old finds, but I think for the most part, I test products as I go with you guys. So it's not often that I have recommendations that come out of the blue, but some products have just slipped through the cracks. I'm enjoying these off camera. I'm applying them off camera in between takes. So today I picked out 10 different beauty items that I'm using that I don't think I've talked about enough, if at all. My skin has been going through something lately, obviously due to my pregnancy. I am in SOS mode trying to get her through this. I actually have had a lot of improvement recently. Pregnancy brings a lot of hormonal changes, which in some cases can really affect the skin. This includes melasma, hyperpigmentation, discoloration, dark spots, acne, which I am struggling with, but it's getting better. I'm having a good skin day today. So that was my main reason to add this into my routine, because it helps control and target these temporary changes to my skin. Like, I'm really bringing out the big guns here. Thank you to Amiro for working with me on this portion of today's video. I've incorporated the 5-in-1 LED therapy facial mask into my routine a couple times a week, just a couple times a week. I've heard so many amazing things that light therapy can do for the skin in a non-invasive way. So this mask has more LED beads and higher energy for a more effective treatment. And Amiro has so many other popular skincare devices that you've seen in the past that I enjoy utilizing. And I think they keep their prices fair compared to other competitor brands. So this one is really cool because it uses 5-layer light wave technology, which includes red light, green light, blue light, yellow light, and near infrared light, all of which are going to have different benefits. Blue light helps with acne, green light helps control oil and sebum, yellow light for blemish and pigmentation, red light for skin barrier and wound healing, and near infrared light for anti-aging. So this mask is really cool because it has 3 different modes. Firm light is going to use red and infrared light to boost collagen production, reducing fine lines and tightening the skin. Glow mode uses yellow, red, and infrared light to enhance blood circulation and overall brighten the skin tone. And then purified mode, with the pretty colored lights, uses blue, red, green, infrared, and yellow, which is great for acne and calming inflammation. So right now I alternate between glow and purified mode. And if you are pregnant, by the way, consult with your doctor before using. I only do 5-minute treatments 3 times a week right now, but I plan on building up more time a little more frequently as soon as I give birth, for hopefully a quicker skin recovery from all of those hormonal changes. Amiro does not suggest using this for more than 30 minutes a session, but as far as the mask, I like the cushion protection around the eyes so that the mask doesn't actually touch the face. It just keeps everything more sanitary. And I'll just throw this on while scrolling, watching TV, reading my book for just a little bit. So if you want to try it out, they hooked me up with a $70 coupon and free shipping. Just use the code Morgan70 at checkout. They also do 90-day money-back guaranteed, a 1-year warranty if anything were to happen, and I will have all of the details down in the description box. Again, thank you, Amiro, for working with me on this video. Let's get into more, because I have a lot more. So this next one here is both a product and kind of a tip for application as well. I've been using more mineral sunscreens lately, and I recently tried out this from Jones Road. It's the Everyday Sunscreen. It has SPF 30, and I've actually been applying it with a brush. This is the Everything brush from Jones Road. I've just been enjoying this for every day, quickly in the mornings. I don't know why I never thought to apply my SPF with a brush, but I always hate the way that SPF feels on the fingers when I apply it. But Jones Road, in a PR package, they had sent this along with their Everything brush. So what do you know, one day I used this brush to apply this SPF, and I love it. And I love this because it's a mineral sunscreen with zinc oxide that doesn't leave any white cast at all. As you can see, it starts off more peach, but there's no white cast. And then the application with the brush, I feel, allows me to keep that thick protective layer over the skin without getting it all over my hands, so I just feel less sticky. And I really like this formula because I want that thick protective layer over the skin, and it just doesn't leave any color or residue behind, and it leaves a really glowy appearance. I would say the only downside to this is it is a little bit stickier in nature, which you guys know I'm not a fan of, but I do find that it dries down throughout the day, so it's not terrible. But yes, in the beginning, my hair will stick to it a little bit, all of my loose baby hairs, but I think, you know, right now with my skin's condition, SPF is more important than ever, so I really got a deal. And my tip, just apply your SPF with a good brush that's not going to soak up any of the product in there. And if you're looking for a good everyday SPF, I really like this one. It's in the shade Peachy, so that's the reason that it doesn't leave any white cast or anything of that nature behind, but it's really nice. It doesn't break me out. So I've been enjoying this SPF a lot on my mineral SPF journey. I'm gonna skip out on applying this because I think it would be too many heavy layers for the makeup look that I'm doing today. But I wanted to mention this. I have a couple different Jane Iredale things in today's video. So last week I went on a brand trip with them. So I was really truly educated on the brand, got to take a lot of time to ask questions, and been giving facts about so many of their products. So of course, on that brand trip, I discovered a lot of amazing products. And one of them, this is just incredible, you guys. This is the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Brightening Face Primer. This feels, oh my gosh, it's getting everywhere. This feels absolutely incredible on the skin. It's smoothing, it's hydrating, it leaves a nice, not glow behind, but it just makes the skin look hydrated without feeling too heavy. So because it's not too glowy or too heavy, it doesn't change the time of wear, but it makes the consistency and surface of this skin so smooth and ready to have makeup applied. If you're like me and you don't prefer a sticky base, you want something that the makeup's gonna run a little bit more smoothly over and just make the skin look a little bit more plump, I love the way this feels. This is one of the most smoothing primers I've ever used. It reminds me a lot of the Hourglass smoothing primer. If you're into that, I think you will really enjoy that. So that's why I haven't recommended this to you yet, because it's a fairly new addition to my routine, but I didn't want to be annoying and like just because I went on this trip start suddenly recommending their stuff out of the blue. But this was one of the standout products that I got introduced to on the trip, and I love the way, the texture that this gives my skin before makeup application. The only reason I'm not using it right now is because I really lathered up on skincare this morning, and then with the SPF, I just don't need that additional layer. I don't want to affect my wear time in any way, but this is also great because it's non-comedogenic. It's really good for sensitive skin as well. Now, this next product I have used on my channel before, but I feel like it's one of the products that I mention mostly in sponsored content when I work with Merit, but I truly do use this in everyday life as well. For quickies in the morning, just to spot conceal, I grab for this Merit Minimal Perfecting Complexion Stick because it is so malleable on the skin. So these are for quickies throughout the day, so my use of this doesn't always make it to camera. So I wanted to give this a non-sponsored mention that, yes, I love this product. I use the shades Linen and Ochre. So Linen is my more, I guess, brightening shade. It's just a little bit lighter. So on super quickie makeup days, if I just want my redness to disappear a little bit, I just kind of push this in those areas. And I use this when I don't want a full face of makeup. I just want everything to look a little bit more even and perfected. I'm going in with ochre now over some of the redness that I have, which tends to be my nose, my cheeks, and right now my main area of breakouts is this portion on the cheeks. And you see it just goes where I want it to go. It thins out really beautifully. It doesn't look heavy. It's a concealer that stretches really well, but leaves that slight veil of coverage over the skin. So it just does enough to make the skin look more even without actually looking or feeling like I have full coverage on. So you see how this just quickly pulled everything together, made everything look more even, tampered down the redness, but still looks extremely skin-like and so easy to work with. This is why I reach for this on super quick makeup days off camera, that I just want to look a little bit more evened out before I head out of the house. I don't want my acne to be the most pronounced thing on my face. I reach for this, and when it's soaked in with really good hydrating base products like that SPF, like that moisturizer, the more skin-like it looks. And I don't even set my face when I wear this. You don't have to. Because I don't set it, yes, it can settle into the fine lines under the eyes. That's just how cream products work. But it's so stretchy and flexible that I just go like this when I notice that, and we're back to normal. So it's so easy to go in throughout the day and just refresh everything. So I love this. The hype on this is real, even though I feel like I just feel guilty when you only see this in sponsored posts. I decided to work with them for a reason. I really, really do love this product, and I absolutely use it off camera. On days that I'm using truly minimal products, you know, it makes me feel like Hailey Bieber. You know how she puts like 2 dots on her skin and blends it out, and I'm like, okay, now we can't look as beautiful as you. This is my Hailey Bieber equivalent concealer product when I truly just want the redness tampered down. So I really love that. I do want to go for a makeup look today, so I am going to pop on some foundation, but I wanted to show you this product on bare skin because it's so beautiful, so natural, so easy to use. If you guys have teenage daughters or daughters who are just getting into makeup and want to wear something to school, and you want to get them something nice, clean, I really like this Merit stick. I think it's really great, you know, if they have little acne spots or some discoloration. It's a fabulous product. I don't know why I've never mentioned this before. This was actually a pretty viral product on the internet, and normally I'm on top of that. But again, this one somehow, someway slipped through the cracks. But when this was going viral, like, I just want you to know, I really, really liked this product. I felt like it was different. It was fun. It's these Fui Pudding Blurring Pot Blushes, which congratulations to Fui. I saw they made it into Sephora, so they're going to be a brand that's easier to get a hold of than ever. It's a Korean brand, but these are, I don't know if you can see, they're like bouncy blushes, which normally isn't a texture that I like, but you can see it really gives that Korean blurred look to the cheek, which I think is so, so gorgeous. You can apply it with this brush if you want. I think it's fun because it's bouncy, but I usually like to work this in with my finger instead. I'm debating. The shade Faded is so pretty. I think I'm going to use that one today. But they also just have the cutest packaging in their line as well. I have another Fui product that I'm mentioning. I think they're a fun brand to look into. Again, I think they're really good for the tweeners kind of age group, but I think the products are really nice, and I do like this blush. So what I do is I get it on my finger and I just work it out, and it gives that faded, blurred look that's really beautiful on, you know, like the Korean skincare models. And I do use just my regular brush. This is BK Beauty 106. This one is good for today's look because my skin is pretty glowy today, so it just like tampers that down a little bit. But you can get it really natural like this, a true natural flush, just with this nature of the product. And it's matte, but it's not drying at all. I normally don't like that, but it really meshes well even with a glowy base. And you can get a ton of pigment from this if you want, or you can get it really natural like I'm going for today. I really like this shade Faded. Yeah, I'm just confirming because it's really natural if you want it to be, or it can really give that kind of burnt, toasted look. So I work it out with my fingers, and then I finish off with my brush, and you can really shear it out nice and thin. This will be pretty all over the nose too. Isn't that so pretty? And it gives that perfect blurred look. It's also a really great consistency to use if you want to blend it down from the under eyes, and you can pop it on the lips too. It's a bit like a hint drying on the lips, but you can make it work with the proper base and prep. But yeah, that was one when I was looking for products to feature in today's video. I saw it and I was like, wait, I literally don't think I've ever recommended these on my channel, but again, they're really beautiful for like a skin tint lighter makeup day, but you also can apply this full coverage. I think the hype was mostly based on the consistency, the texture of it, but I don't have a lot of blushes that are easy to get a hold of from Ulta that give that Korean style blurred look to the face. So really, really enjoy that. The other Jane Iredale discovery that I made, what do they call this? The one annoying thing about this is it comes in a compact and a refill shade, so I can't see which shade I have or the name, but this is the Pure Pressed Base. This is one of their OG products to the line. I believe the loose version of this was one of the first, or if not the first products on the line, but this has been a bestseller of theirs for years. And what I found is it's a great touch-up powder, a great setting powder, and it makes my skin look airbrushed. I've used this before in the past and I wasn't like in love with it. And then I got my makeup done by one of their professional artists and she set my skin with this, and I kid you not, my skin looked airbrushed. And it was because of this, because I tried it on myself the next day, her combo, and I was like, wow, it's this product. Now this you can use all over the skin alone as a powder foundation, which I love a powder foundation. I'll have to try it that way, but I really like this for setting the makeup. And I don't do anything crazy. I don't press too much of the product on. I just use this is the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N15 brush. I'm gonna do half my face so you can see. It does lay down a little bit of color, but nothing crazy. I just think it makes the face look so soft and airbrushed. I love it. I'm gonna set the heck out of my face with some setting spray to bring some glow, because that's what I'm going for. But I wanted to show you the difference of what this powder does. And one of the girls I was with, her name was Paloma, she's stunning. She was telling me how this powder is her favorite. It's the only one for touch-ups, like when her eyes are watery and it messes up her makeup, this is the only one that doesn't get affected by her watery eyes. So, and her makeup was gorgeous, so I trust her. So I don't love this for setting the under eyes. For that, you know, I'm reaching for a loose powder. I just prefer that. But for everywhere around the face, I just feel like it makes the face, the skin look so smooth. So I even still need to test this as a powder foundation itself, but I've really been enjoying using this colored powder to set my makeup, which is not something I normally do. I don't normally use something with color to set, but wow, it makes the skin look so, so soft and plush. So this one I'm lying a bit about the title because I know I've recommended this before in the past, but I just feel like it gets lost in the sauce because it's not as popular of a brand. I tend to use this off camera, but it's super reliable. This is the Wonder Skin Longwear Eyeliner. Genuinely one of the, if not the longest lasting, most reliable pencils on the market. Debating which one I want to use. Kalamata is a little bit more deep dark brown, but I also have Brown Sugar, which is a little bit lighter. We'll do Brown Sugar, a little lighter. And I do have a little bit of shadow smudged along my lash line. I've been going for these smudgy looks, but this is an eyeliner. It's gel, so when it sets down, it's not going to move. However, you do have enough time to smudge it out if you want. You could also use an angled brush if you want to blend it out for more definition. You don't need to blend it out. I just tend to think it makes these eyeliners look smoother. But this does have a nice glide across the eyelid. You wouldn't believe how long lasting it is. And then I actually might use a little bit of Kalamata, a little tighter, But I'm gonna also put this in the lash line because it lasts, not the lash line, the waterline, because it lasts so long without smudging. This is one of the best pencil liners on the market. And I just think because it's not as popular or as talked about of a brand, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to try this because you don't think about trying eyeliner pencils from a random brand. These are so, so good and so reliable and really workable, really flexible. You can blend them, but they also are gonna last a really long time. I'm gonna take Kalamata and I'm just going to tightline and also kind of drag this in between my lashes just to get some definition really collected around my eyes. Beautiful. We're going for more of a simple, smudgy look today. This is not part of the video, but interesting. I've been testing these Buxom flip side liner and shadow duos. I'm not loving them, but they do look pretty all over when applied. Anyways, best eyeliner. And before I go ahead and put on my eyelashes, because I have to wait for those to dry, let's prep the lips with one of my favorite lip masks. Now, there's a lot of lip masks that I love. I'm constantly using Laneige. I'll use Pharmacy. What else is in my rotation? Fenty, Lawless. I use those a lot on camera. These I feel like don't get talked about on camera because they're in my beauty room, not my filming studio. So these are what I use when I'm in my beauty room, which is when I'm applying makeup, not on camera. The Sigma Hydro Melt lip masks are incredible. They're similar, I would say, to the Lawless and the Pharmacy, but even gooier. It doesn't matter, these don't have much pigment to them, so the shades don't really matter. I'm gonna use the shade Tint, but you can see, yeah, okay, it's not as gooey as the Pharmacy, but you see the shade Tint does leave a little bit of pigmentation to the lips. So if you have some foundation residue on the lips, this will kind of help cover it. But I think it just sits on the lips for a nice amount of time before fading away. So it's great to apply prior to makeup because it really does condition the lips well while you're applying the makeup. You can also put this over a lip liner because it does have a really pretty shine to it. It's nothing crazy, but it does have a nice shine. The shade Hush is good if you want it completely clear, but it's just rich, baby. I feel the hydration happening if you have severely dry lips and haven't tried these, because I do. My lips always look really dry. These are really beautiful. And nobody talks about these. I think, you know, Sigma it's a popular brand. It's had its moment in years past, but when you think of Sigma, you don't think of their lip masks, but this is incredible. Now, this next product I haven't recommended because it kind of goes against my normal beliefs and preferences when it comes to lip liners, but the range of colors is just so good. I constantly find myself reaching for these. So in my beauty room, I have on display some of my favorite lip liner formulas, and this is in that cup. And I do find for quickies during the day or touch-ups, I'm constantly reaching for this because this is one of the best touch-up lip liners, or the best lip liners to put on top of an already applied lip product. So when it comes to initial lip liner, I like a gel that sets and doesn't move, but sometimes I kind of want to reshade the lips or just give a little bit of a touch-up, and that's when a lip liner that doesn't set and is more cream-based is really nice. And these Laura Mercier ones have the best colors. Let me quickly just, from top to bottom, the colors that I swatched are Delicate Nude, Opulent Peach, Lavish Mulberry, Elegant Blush, Luxurious Mauve, Blush Pink, Rosewood, Brown Tulle, Precious Plum, and then Red Velvet at the bottom. What should I use today? Rosewood. We'll do that one. I mean, take a look at this. This is not the normal formula that I go for, but these are really great because they are so flexible, and sometimes that's what you want. You want it to be a little easier to touch up and to layer up. So, hold on, can't talk. Normally when I overline, that's why you want one that sets more. But this is so much easier to blend and mush into other colors and mix for more dimension. Like, I could go in with rosewood here and then very easily take just a little bit of brown tulle and blend in for more definition. So I don't talk about these a lot because they normally aren't my base layer for lip liners, but when I want to touch up and my lips color has faded, I'll reapply my lip color and then I'll put this right over top of my lip color, and because it's so creamy, it's a formula that will go right over and will add that definition back to the look. So I use these a lot. Didn't mention them because they're normally not the first lip liner that I use, but they're my touch-up lip liner as I go into my beauty room throughout the day, touch up my look, and they have just really great colors. Now these, same situation, these are on display in my beauty room, so I tend to reach for these not on camera, but I really love this classic lipstick formula from Estee Lauder, the Pure Color Cream Lipsticks. I have almost the whole range. I think I gave my sister-in-law some, but I like these because they're comfortable, but they last such a long time. I pulled a few of my favorites. I use them all, but from top to bottom, there's Modern Muse, Irresistible, Suit Up, Rebellious Rose, 131, I can't pronounce that, and then Fragile Ego. I, in particular, really love to put a sheer layer of like a red. The reds stay really well without drying out the lips. I think for today's look, let's use, I guess, Modern Muse just over top. And I just like a thin layer of this. I'll do thicker layers if I want, but it's just a comfortable, long-lasting lipstick. And very rarely do I use a cream lipstick in a bold color because I just find that to be very, very messy. But these Estee Lauder ones, they're really, really good. Let me just, for fun, I'm going to take it off anyways. I'm using some of Fragile Ego. They just look so pretty and blurred on the lips, like not too much, not overdone. I know I didn't apply it the best, but they don't dry out the lips, but they still have like a nice soft matte finish. Just a really beautiful formula. I think Estee Lauder Beauty, besides like, you know, like the foundation, doesn't get talked about a lot, but their lipsticks are really, really nice. Okay, the last and final product that I have are lip glosses that give the prettiest jelly glassy look, and they have a really unique concept. These are the Fui 3D Voluming Glosses. Now, I don't know how this happened. I think I was just waiting to debut it in this specific video, but I did a full dedicated video on these guys because I was just so pleased with the formula, with the concept of these. I don't know why I didn't mention them in any other videos. It's because they're purse glosses for me. They're so small in the packaging that I just throw these in my purse. They're so cute. But if you missed that video, like I said, it was sponsored, but such a cool concept. So you will have two of the same color but with different pigment levels. So how this works is one color will have an option for 70% pigment, which is more pigmented, of course, and then 30%, which is more of a sheer layer. And I just love that you have that option because the darker glosses, you can choose if you want more pigment. I find that the deeper, bolder, more vibrant glosses, I like them in the more sheer formula. But with the lighter color glosses, I really like them in the more pigmented formula. And for me, it's just about the option of having that because I have always complained with the new glosses that they're all kind of turning out to be the same formula, the same colors. I hate when a gloss line is so sheer and yet, why is my tongue yellow? I hate when a gloss is so sheer and yet has so many colors, but all of them look the same on the lips. This really allows you to customize what pigment level of a color you want. And they have some really nice colors as well. I really like vanilla. Let me see if I can show you the difference. We'll do the full pigment option, 70%. See, it's a little bit more pink. But do you see how this also fills in the line of the lips? So not only is the concept really great, but the formula is as well. And here's 30. So there is a difference to the pigment level that you're getting with these. And they just look so glassy, juicy, smooth on the lips that a lot of these Korean beauty brands have mastered. They smell amazing. They're not sticky at all, but they They're not sticky, but they have just enough stick to last a long time. This has been a gloss formula that I've been really impressed with and throw these in my purse all the time. They have a ton of shades. I did do a video, that video that I was talking about. I did swatch all of them if you want to see them, if you want to compare the pigment levels. But this is one where you probably skip that video, which is totally fine. But I just want to bring it to your attention. These are a really, really neat product, a really unique concept that I wish more brands did. I mean, I understand why they don't, because that's really difficult to do. Why would you have two of the same color just with different pigment levels? But I mean, shout out to Fui for doing that. I think it's great for like makeup artists, or everybody has a different complexion, different preferences. So this really caters to that. And not to mention, it's that really glassy formula that just smooths over the lips so beautifully. And there you have it, you guys. Those are 10 new beauty favorites that I've pretty much never recommended before that I thought deserved a spotlight on camera. And as expected with all of these products, my makeup turned out really beautiful. Obviously very safe, neutral look that I did today, but I wanted my skin to look really fresh. So I will have all of the products that I mentioned down below. And again, a huge thank you to Amiro for working with me on today's video. If you want to check out the 5-in-1 LED therapy facial mask, which has so many options, I'll have the link to that down below. Just use the code Morgan70 for $70 coupon and free shipping. Remember, there's also a 90-day money-back guarantee and a 1-year warranty. Everything, all the info will be down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Make sure you check out these products, because while they might not be the most viral or products that are given the most spotlight, they downright work great. And that's why I love them. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.